Well, this is my 8th season with the Red Arrows now. I spent 3 years as a display pilot, including being part of the synchro pair, and now I'm the supervisor. So Red 10, my role is supervision, where I have to be on the ground at every public display to ensure that nothing untoward is going to affect our performance, and I'm the safety guy on the ground. So I will be there in constant radio contact with Red 1, and it's my 5th year now as Red 10. Well, I was very lucky. I grew up in Biggin Hill in Kent, which was a famous Battle of Britain airfield, and every year they held the Biggin Hill Air Fair. So I saw an air show every year from the year I was born. So when I was around 2 months old, I went and saw my first air show. I watched the Red Arrows every year, and it was definitely the Red Arrows that inspired me to become a pilot. So since I was around 2 years old, I wanted to be a pilot in the Red Arrows. So I feel very, very lucky and very privileged, very honoured to be doing what I'm doing. And in fact, it really is the key role for me, and what this team is all about is inspiration. We really want to inspire the next generation, whether that's to ignite a career in aviation or an interest in aviation, or just to go out and join a youth organisation. The Air Training Corps, I spent 6 years in the Air Training Corps, and this year they're celebrating their 75th anniversary. There's lots of air cadets here at Portrush today. I've just met a few of them this morning, and it's great to see them in uniform, and I really hope that we can inspire the next generation to get involved. The Red Arrows love coming to Portrush. We get such a good welcome every time we come here. It's my, I think, 4th year coming to Portrush. Brilliant welcome every time we arrive. The selection process, as you can imagine, is quite severe. It takes a lot of luck and a lot of right place, right time, but also the right credentials to be selected to be a Red Arrows pilot. So you have to have a number of criteria before you can apply to join. You have to be a flight lieutenant, so a junior officer. You have to have completed at least one frontline operational tour, and you have to have 1,500 hours of fast jet flying training, but also be assessed as above average. And once you tick all those 4 boxes, which takes around 10 to 12 years to achieve, you can then apply to join the team. So normally what happens is, with that amount of experience and the assessment of being above average, you're on the cusp of being promoted to Squadron Leader, and therefore you can't apply to join. So there's a real fine line between being too good too quickly and being promoted, and also not being able to apply because you're then a senior officer. But when we actually then get our applicants, which we get around 30 a year, we'll look at each individual's flying records from the day one, their first ever flight in the Royal Air Force, the start of training, through to the current day on the frontline squadron. So we look through their entire record, and then from paper we will look at their pros and cons, and we'll select 9 of those 30 to come away for a week-long selection process, which is a very thorough selection process with flying tests, interviews, radio interviews. We'll put them in front of a camera and see how good they are with the media, and also just peer testing, because there's a lot of trust involved with this job. You're flying alongside somebody that's only 6 feet apart, trusting they're going to be in the right place. But also it's the fact that we spend around 16 hours a day together in the summer, so you just frankly have to get on. If you don't get on, then the team won't work. So it's a very important process, and we're very lucky to have the privilege of being a self-selecting team. One word I would use to describe my entire time with the team is privilege. I put on this red suit and I feel immense pride every time I do, because I'm representing the Royal Air Force, but representing the country. I've been very lucky to have travelled as far as Malaysia, and I've also been to the continental USA. So I've been to the east coast of the States to perform as far as New York City. So I'm very lucky to have travelled the world wearing a red suit representing the UK and the Royal Air Force.